I now want to bring in Daniel Flesch. He's a former member of the Israel Defense Forces and a senior policy analyst at the Heritage Foundation. Daniel, good morning to you. I mean, is this deal actually going to happen? You have Netanyahu's office announcing this morning that the Israeli cabinet won't be meeting today to vote on the deal, accusing Hamas of reneging on parts of the agreement to extort last-minute concessions.
Good morning, Markie. This deal is never finalized until you see hostages return to their families' arms. Until that point, anything could have gone wrong. And as the Biden administration has been admitting the last few weeks, on every opportunity to have a ceasefire negotiation over the past 15 months, it has been Hamas that has pulled the rug out from underneath the negotiations. It appears this might be no different. The Prime Minister's office is saying that Hamas is requiring the release of some pretty significant terrorists that Israel has in prison, and Israel does not want to release them. So negotiations are still ongoing. I don't want to say it's premature, the celebratory news from yesterday. However, again, this is not a done deal until you see hostages crossing the border back into Israel.
And to just, compound off what you're saying there were celebrations in the streets yesterday, both here in the United States and, in Israel and in Gaza, before pen has even been put to paper, before, to your point, the hostages have actually even been released. What do you tell hostage families who are still waiting in purgatory this morning?
Well, the government is still working to secure the release of their loved ones. That's first and foremost. But in addition, the Israeli public is certainly behind them. Israelis want to see the hostages returned home. The only question is obviously how and which vector. Certainly a ceasefire, a temporary ceasefire, is advantageous for Israel to return to secure the release of some of the hostages, provided, and this is the other element, provided it does not end the war. If this ends the war, then it might be viewed as a failure from the Israeli public. But provided that any sort of negotiations and agreement does not see an end to the war, then certainly everyone wants to see the hostages returned home. And that's something that the incoming Trump administration has essentially said as well, that Israel must destroy Hamas. You've had the incoming secretaries of state, defense, and national security advisor effectively say within the last 2 days that Israel must destroy Hamas at the end of all of this.
What needs to happen to actually end the war and bring long-term peace to the region? And is that even possible at this point, Daniel?
Well, it's very simple. Destroy Hamas. And people say that the ideology of Hamas cannot be defeated. That might be the case, but the Nazis no longer have a homeland. ISIS no longer has territory. Hamas should not be able to control or govern any area near Israel, obviously the Gaza Strip. So really defeating Hamas, destroying, killing its members, getting them out of the Gaza Strip. Only then can we begin to talk about potential stability. I think peace is a very, very strong word. Israelis are still living in an October 7th mindset, understandably, because their loved ones are still being held hostage by Hamas. So let's put that for a future conversation. Really, it is to destroy Hamas, which also killed 47 Americans on October 7th, right, and still holds hostage the bodies of 7 others.
And lastly, before I let you go, I just got to talk about the timing of this. I mean, obviously, it's still a tentative deal, but it was major news that Israel and Hamas even came to an agreement yesterday. The timing of this on an eve of a new administration here in the United States is pretty remarkable. Do you credit Donald Trump for this deal, or in 50 years and you look back and history looks back, is it Biden's deal or is it Trump's deal?
I think there are 2 main factors for why this deal potentially is coming to fruition. First is the battlefield successes of the IDF over the past 6 months, not only in debilitating and defeating Hamas effectively in Gaza, but also decapitating the leadership of Hezbollah in the pager incident back in September in the fall. The Assad regime in Syria has fallen, and Israel has struck back against Iran. So Iran's proxy network is on its back heels. That's one thing. The second thing is the difference between this agreement, which was outlined in May for the Biden administration, and now is Trump's victory in November. Him coming in and saying that it'll be hell to pay versus Biden's soft warning of don't after October 7th to the region really spelled the difference, because Hamas knows there'll be a lot more pressure brought on it and not on the Israelis, which the Biden administration has been doing for the last 15 months. So I think those 2 factors, this idea of peace through strength, has contributed to what could be finally a hostage negotiation.
Well, we're staying on top of this developing story every hour. Daniel Flesch, I got to end it there, but thank you so much for joining me this morning on Morning in America. Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.